In the Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, we find the pardoner singing old stories, begging for some money because it is the easiest way to get through. It was just a matter of saying some words in Latin, some indulgences of the Pope, offer the cure for jealousy, and telling some tales for the lords. And so it begins. "Dear lords," said he, "in churches when I preach, I am at pains that all shall hear my speech, and ring it out as roundly as a bell, for I know all by heart the thing I tell. My theme is always one and ever was, radix malorum est cupiditas. That is to say, greed is the root of all evil." And that is how the story starts. In Flanders, there were 3 men, drinking and doing the most terrible things in the name of the devil, committing the most terrible sins: lechery, gluttony, and gambling, cursing and tearing apart the body of our Lord. One day the 3 men, with their mind and their bodies sunk in sin, hear a morning song. A bell ringing as a corpse was led to its grave. One of them stood upon his shivering feet, trying to know the name of the man whose body was stiff. A little boy said that there was no need. It was a friend of them who was killed. There came a stealthy thief that's known as Death, throughout this country robbing folks of breath, smiting his and other 1,000 hearts in two, disappearing in a whisper. "Beware," he said, but these men, fueled with anger, decided to seek for revenge. "Let's each hold up a hand to one another. Each of us will become the other's brother. With this false traitor Death will do away, the slayer of so many we shall slay." On their way they stepped onto an old wrinkled man in untidy clothes. He claimed he was destined to remain a wandering and restless wretch. Impolitely, the 3 men accused him to be a spy of Death, and forced him, swearing that he would pay if he didn't speak the truth. "Now, sirs," said he, "if you have such desire to find Death, then turn up this crooked way. I left him in that grove. I truly say, beneath a tree he was, there he'll abide. Your boasting will not make him run and hide." Then the 3 men started to run, but when they arrived, they noticed that under a big oak tree there was a treasure, a big amount of gold. They forgot about finding the man who killed their friend, and changed their anger for joy. They sent the youngest of them to run to the city and bring some wine. But little did the youngest knew that when he left, the other 2 decided to kill him at his arrival, so they could get the whole treasure and not splitting it into more parts. But these 2 men were not the only ones craving for the gold. The young man wanted it too. He decided to get some poison and mix it with the wine, give it to the 2 others, and keep all the treasure for himself. When he arrived, not a moment passed and he was killed. The greed of the 2 other men won. But to celebrate, they drank some wine that their dead friend brought, and met promptly with their fate. And so it concludes the tale, as the pardoner cursed their names for being so greedy, but still he prays falsely for their souls. But one thing remains, he is still doing what he likes. He asks for money to all the sirs, selling relics so they save their souls. telling them if they do not pay to receive his pardon, they shall forever live in sin, even after death takes them away.